Hi guys, it's Dom from the MS Guide. I'm really thrilled to say that I can now give another update on my trip to Lemtrada, my Lemtrada journey as some people like to call it. But it has been really quiet and dead on this front for a little while, and the reason is not because I have forgotten to make any videos, but because nothing's happening. We've been chasing the elusive B cells, and I have now had my last ocrelizumab Ocrevus dose almost a year to the day ago, and that was my 6th one. So I don't have a B cell. I don't have a single eeny teensy weensy little bit of a B cell. Nothing, nil, nada. They are just still not there. Now the data says that it should take about 72 weeks if you've had 4 doses. So that's a rough guide. It's been 52, and so that's another 20 weeks. So however, I have an issue. I have a personal issue, and I was talking with a friend that I was out walking with the other day. She's also got MS. As a funny aside, her MS nurse rang when we were halfway through our walk. It's my MS nurse too. And she said, "Oh, guess where I am?" and explained to him. And he laughed and said, "Well, you'll have to hand the phone to Dominic because he's also on my call list. I need to organise his bloods because we're chasing this elusive B cell." So that was just kind of surreal, being on a hillside in Berkshire, being contacted by the MS nurse via my friend, so with MS. Anyway, she's had Lemtrada. She's incredibly fit and is going to do Mount McKinley, which is now called Denali, in Alaska in the States later this year. So she's into some pretty intense training and wants the steepest hills possible. So I happen to know where they are. I obliged, and then she turned up with a heavy backpack already, and then we went up and down, and it was like, God, today I can feel my bloody calves like you would not believe, and all I'm thinking is I need to get back onto it. Rather stupidly, I've mapped out a 20-kilometer harder route for next Saturday, but it's great to have somebody to G you along, and I might even be dumb enough to take my own pack with some weight in it. But it's not a macho thing, it's a sort of me v me thing. So moving on. Back to Lemtrada. That was the silly story for the aside. I can never stop myself doing that. I apologise if you think get to the point, Shadbolt, because here it comes. When you are dosed with Lemtrada, it obliterates your B cells and your T cells. And this is the really simple explanation, the kind of one that I can get my head around. And then it takes about 3 months for them to come back. However, one of the risks and one of the proposed is the wrong word. It's speculated that autoimmune risks associated with Lemtrada may come from B cells and T cells repopulating at different speeds. Usually the B cells. Now, several neurologists put to me, "Why are you waiting? It kills your B cells and your T cells regardless." And my neurologist also convinced me with the, "I would like to at least see the hint of B cell activity." So it's impossible to say because I ain't a neurologist. And both sides make convincing arguments. However, back to my mate and I, we were chatting about MS, what it's like to have MS, how lucky we are to be walking and doing stuff. But nonetheless, it feels like somebody's got a loaded gun to your head with the safety off and the hammer back, and you're driving down a bumpy road. You don't know if it's going to be the next bump that causes that gun to fire. That's how it feels to have MS, is as if you're right on the verge of this the whole time. And I'm not comfortable being off treatment for so long. And I have had a chat with a neurologist who's a friend, and they said to me, "I don't know why you're waiting, because instead of having some sort of therapy, which my friend had, which was to keep the B cells under control so they didn't strip out the speed of regeneration of the T cells, and to try and keep the B and the T cells coming back up together roughly the same," and this is a non-scientist talking, there was Dr. Elliot Froman in the US has developed a de-risking protocol, I think it's called, where if you have Lemtrada, you then have pulsed rituximab afterwards to try and keep the B cells under control so they don't outstrip the T cells. Now, matey here, I have no blinking B cells anyhow, not the hint of one. The blood tests, the constant blood tests. So, if I have Lemtrada, A, you can't kill them twice, and B, if they're knocked back and everything is coming back together, I'm getting a lot closer to the time when the B cells should start coming back, And my mate was saying to me, well, it's going to make it a lot closer for the two to be able to come back together. So instead of you, Dominic, having the pulse rituximab, which you'd have to pay for in the UK, and I don't want to pay for it, otherwise nobody's getting any Christmas presents next year. But there's that. So I said to them, effectively, right, I'm fed up. I don't like the loaded gun feeling. I want to get on a treatment. I want to get on a highly effective treatment. I also want to be able to do things, you know, I've said this many times, to be able to take COVID jabs, for example, and not just have a completely consistently suppressed B cells. Lemtrada will allow me to do that. So on Monday, tomorrow, because I'm shooting this on Sunday, my mate's going to be talking to another one of their professional colleagues to see if they can take me on so that I can be under their care. I don't really have a complaint with my neurologist. He's a perfectly fine chap, but he doesn't want to do it this way. I want to do it this way. He said he would support me if I chose to move, so he's not anti it, but I just, you know, everybody has different opinions, and I'm less risk averse than many because I think I wouldn't be having this put in front of me as an option by people who thought it was a shade risky, because I don't think it looks good if you put yourself in the doctor's shoes to be playing fast and loose with patients' health, and the ones I know, they're just not like that. So I'm pretty darn confident that it's going to be a slight element of swings and roundabouts, and the thing that gets me is the fact that I'm untreated at present and I would like to be treated. With Lemtrada, not that there's no follow-up because you have a lot of blood tests afterwards, but it is essentially 2 lots and you're done. Goodbye. You're not having to constantly have pills or scheduled infusions or whatever. And at my age, the ripe old age of 52, it would be so nice to leave it behind. And it would also free up the remainder of my life before I write myself off doing something dumb, hopefully a little more flexible, because I've got several passports, I've got things that I felt like in my life I haven't been able to do because I have been tied to a hospital and medication and stuff. So that's a secondary thing, but it's still there. Anyway, trip to Lemtrada journey, whatever you want to call it. Tomorrow, the ball is rolling. It won't be fast, but you know, that 20 weeks, at least 10 of them are going to be taken up with, I would say, organization. Plus I have to go on an anti-listeriosis diet, which is not to get food poisoning. So bye-bye blue cheese. And thankfully I keep my fridge clean and I have good food hygiene anyhow. But if not, I'd have to learn that too, because that wouldn't be cool things to be knocking around your system when you're going to immunosuppress it. My biggest thing will be finding a place to hide away for 2 months. In the UK, I'm going to need to get bloods and stuff done. So my wife's a school teacher, so she is a vector essentially with all the grade 2s, the not 2-year-olds, grade 2s for the US, 7-year-olds for the UK, and their year 2s. They are pretty classy at giving her every disease going. So for a couple of months, I won't be able to do that. Anyway, it's something that's a challenge I'd rather have to sort out, but I'll be looking up for somewhere to go and stay. Hopefully I've got a mate with a holiday home or something. I don't know. I'm going to have to start making a list and then hitting people up in a really sort of needy, can you help me out? Can I stay in your property for nothing and stay away from everybody else sort of sense. But, you know, such is life. I'd rather face that than not have treatment. So anyway, you guys, look out for yourselves. Bunch more stuff coming. I'm really sorry that I haven't put anything up. I haven't been feeling brilliant, but now I'm trying to get my mojo back, and hopefully the videos will resume their usual frequency. And I've got a really cool one with Professor Schmeyer, and we're going to be talking about IRTs, immunoreconstitutive therapies. I'm looking forward to the stem cell one, really trying to nail down the person who promised that they would come on the channel, but they are being quite elusive. And there's a bunch more stuff as well, and I'm going to try and run some regular features as well. I have a friend who's trying to get back in shape, so we may do it sort of monthly or even 2 weekly updates from him, and a bunch of other stuff, but I'm not going to share everything with you now. Have a lovely time, take it easy, keep doing the right thing, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.